but I didn't use it. Now, what happened was that after the HR person was boiling, you are being rude to this guy. But before you were born, it was already when you finished banking. The point is, I had all the parts. But what did I do? I said, come. It's not you. I went to him. He said, when he told him that. And I said, what's the problem? Why are you behaving this way? This is the last time. Why are you behaving that way?
I'm behaving now, but that's reality.
He said, I'm behaving that way because, sincerely, I have an emotional challenge. I'm supposed to be. I haven't designed my place of work. I haven't done this, I haven't done that. And that's why you start. I told them to keep me, let me start with the next stream. But you see, life is about being present. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Life is about being present. Nobody in this world cares about what's going on in your mind. The world, failure is an orphan, but success has so many fathers. If you are failing in life, and you go around looking like a failure, you fail more.
Yes, sir.
Because people, by the way, if you just fail an exam, or just fail an interview, please go out and put on your best suit. And look like you have just successful. But how was it? Thank God. Because if they know you fail an interview, I say, well, sorry, thank you. I just failed that interview. I said, also, we are so stupid. Anyway, you know what happened? To answer your question, I brought him back to the class and I spoke. I said, this guy has an emotional issue. But that's not enough reason for him to have behaved the way he behaved was sort of rude to me. And, you know, it created a wrong impression that this guy was speaking. I'm too proud of what they're saying. But I defended him. Now listen to it. However, and this is where I explained what I tell you about the restraint. Because the HR person was, this is a case study. But he was watching everyone like a drama, reality show. So I got given an assignment. I said, well, I'll give everybody an assignment, but I give you 24 hours to respond to me. And you collect from the other people. You know what happened? I waited for 24 hours. I was watching. 24 hours later, he hadn't responded. I gave it to the end of the day, he hadn't responded. I just called the HR person, discipline him. And what that means, he has lost his job. Now, what I'm saying is this. Anybody listening to this would know it is self-destruct. I give you choice. God has given Satan a choice. No, God has given us a choice. God has the power to destroy Satan. But what he's doing, sincerely, that is why it's God. That is why it's God. Because sincerely, you say, why should we let this Satan exist and make life so miserable for some of us? Because some of us here, I'm sure there are some temptations in your life, and you say, this temptation, Lord, let me take out of it. But it's not the God, it's not God. See, it was the devil that did it. It's not the devil. You made a choice to accept. And people say, something, I don't have a choice. You have a choice. If I told you that for the next 9 months, be well behaved, all of you here, and if I rest assured, for my Swiss bank account, I'll give you $1 million each. Wait, you said, I made you $2 million. Be well behaved. Do not fornicate. Do not tell lies. Do not steal. Do not.
This is 9 months. I'll take that for 12 months. I'll give you
Can you see what has happened? I've offered an incentive for you that you can quantify. I've offered $2 million. But you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And what you don't see in terms of blessings on your life is more than $2 million over you. And what you have in you, your core giftedness, the blessings, your ability, your talent, what lies ahead of you is more than $2 million. But you can't see it, and that's why you need the money to do certain things. That's why you fall for something, the cheap option. The cheap option is not to sing, to do so many things at all, to go out there and be a leader and steal the country's money, and to let the masses of this country suffer. And to build houses and people are confiscating houses and you now want to have a free bargain. This country has to move forward. And I'm saying that you are the light of the future. If you don't think about any other thing, think about my children. You don't think about your own children. I want my children to have the rest of life. I want them to do other things. And I'm not saying things I haven't gone through. I'm not perfect, but instead I've gone through temptation. A number of times I've disappointed God, and but can always be better. And I'm asking you today to recognize the importance of Potters Lounge. It's a critical personal building session that you should invite your friends to. It's our hope and our belief that someday in the future, we all gather, as it is the alumni of Potters Lounge, who is a governor, House of Reps, Senate, because we need to total overhaul on the way people think. People believe that the more they think, the more they receive. The more they grab, the more they receive. And branding is not about what you see. Branding would make the mistake of thinking branding is what I want to design around myself. No. Branding should be a way of life. It's sincerity of purpose. It's integrity. It's what you are known for. It's your values, your value page, your value trading. Everybody wakes up and says, I can describe you this way. That is your brand. And that's what the people will pay for in the future. This is what I'm saying. Thank you very much.
Somebody wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
Sir, I'm sorry it was a shy from your question.
Okay.
Because you said earlier that the marketer is doing all sorts of things to like get credit. Like get credit. Yeah, the female marketers. In the long run, if she doesn't do it, if she like, I don't want to fall into this temptation, and she comes to me to that, sir, I couldn't get 18, will you still fire her? Then secondly, can you mix business with immorality, ethics? Let's leave all that. That's in the business and immorality. We didn't go hand in hand in this economy of us. We did a competition in, sir, just do me a favor and answer them.
I think what we are practical as possible. And sincerely, I hope I've not given an impression of things that are not possible. You are asking a very brilliant question. You are saying, can we beat business and morality? And those people say actually, it's a business ethics. Someone actually said, business. Hello. Someone said, business ethics is an oxymoron. The oxymoron that is. So, the point of business is based on morality. That's what they say. Let me put it this way. If a lady comes to me and says, I have a client, prospective client, who wants to sleep with me before doing the target, you know why I will know what I was doing and why we do it? That's my daughter there. Can you imagine someone telling her that kind of thing? She has a father. I know what I'm saying is very challenging. I'm saying I'm using that as a tool to meet my own targets in life. But essentially, I'm the supervisor. And I'm saying, don't do anything you have to do. Just make sure that you meet your target. It's a choice. And I'm not saying it's easy. Don't get me wrong. Oh, no, it's not easy. That's why I said the road less traveled. Because I'm sitting up here now. After exiting the bank, someone said, how come, I listened to this, how come she is able to buy your house? How come? Because I was at the top. So I had an opportunity to do whatever I wanted to do. But like I say, I know where I'm coming from. And I know where I'm going. I know my name. My mother was made the chairman of First Tax 77. It's on the records, it's Seyi Wright, my late mother. She had the opportunity to make sure for the next 20 generations we do not have to work anymore. Because they offered her. First time in December, all the African countries came together. She was, the catering session. She was in charge of food supplies and food, because she was in university and she was just secondary school and helping. She could have made in those days millions. But after a few weeks, you know what she did? She said, thank you very much, I resign. Are you stupid? Are you mad? This is soup, yeah.
Just have and leave.
Now, so, where I'm coming from now? Are you getting the point? Where I'm coming from, there's a heritage to start with. There's a heritage. Number two, I know the consequences of making these choices. Number three, I know that at the end of the day, I do not report to myself. I report to someone. And I know, and listen to this, that after the banking, for instance, it was challenging because they investigated, they checked their accounts, and there was money to be found that these guys stole money. So that's why they were wanting that. And please don't get me, what even do the person's mind is, how come you bought a house when you bought a house? So the investigation of that, I'm not set up an level of investigation. Let's find out. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I mentioned spiritual intelligence. And I paid tithe. Because I had to sell a property that I bought to be able to survive after being the empty of the bank. But I paid tithe on the proceeds. And God bless me. So the question is, do you depend on your power and intelligence, or you want to depend on God? It's a choice. Depending on God may seem to be long term and too long. Let me do by myself, let me use my intelligence. That's what the world does. It's hard. But today in banking, if you look at banking, I want legitimate. I'm not want to say that they're the best. But you can rest assured, this bank made a decision that will not bribe you guys. This bank is based on ethics. These banks, ladies, do not, and I know something about them. They do not. If a customer says this, and if you as a supervisor says this, they will fire the supervisor. Like, go ahead and do it. It's one of the most successful banks in Africa now, or West Africa, probably the most profitable bank in West Africa. There are some banks in this country, I won't mention anything, that have done something contrary to that. But they decided that this is the path we are going to go. It's a live example. Our business school too, this is the bank as a case study. Colleagues, tell you I think this entire group for that Yola and the rest of them, who are from the same group, Continental, Chase Manhattan Bank. So the truth of the matter is, we're tired of especially for that Yola side from that bank. The truth of the matter, one of the things they told us was that fortune making is not for bankers. As you enter, they drop it to you. Fortune, don't make a fortune. Please let's get out of this place. So there are values that were created, and you can see kitty banks succeed. That's why I said, if you want to microwave, you want to microwave fortune, you want to do fortune. Sorry. I think the topic is you want to microwave everything today, sincerely, go ahead and live the life without a brand. The biggest brand you can build is your name, your goodwill. And people someday will pay for that premium.